Well, very good afternoon. Welcome to Le Havre on the French Channel coast. We're live for the start of the 17th edition of the TRANSAT CAFÉ Lore. I'm joined in our commentary booth by a legend of British ocean racing and records, Brian Thompson, who's done 6 editions of the Transat Jacques Vabre. He was 5th in the Vendée Globe in 2008, 2009, won the ocean race in 2005, 2006. He's just raced the Ocean Race Europe, and he was 5th on this race the last time. Brian, how does it feel to be in the commentary booth and not on the water? How do you feel?
Hi Andy. Hello everyone. It's very nice to be here watching the footage from the boats getting ready to go, and part of me would definitely like to be out on the water and setting off. Looks like a boisterous start. Last year was absolutely wild and windy when we started on the Class 40s. It was 35, 40 knot reach to start the race. And this is going to be a reach as well on the first leg out, and it's going to be very exciting, fast.
Your heart's with the Class 40s, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it's a great class. I mean, it's the biggest one in the race, 42 boats, and such a range of people. You've got 3 Vendée Globe race wins in the fleet, with Michel Desjoureau with 2 wins and Vincent Roux with 1. So even the legends come back to race in the Class 40 because it's a very competitive fleet, and the boats are easy to handle but super fast. I mean, they are probably faster than the boats that Vincent and Michel raced when they did the Vendée.
In 2000, yeah. I mean, that's what we were saying, and it's great to see them back. Vincent Roux, I think, has done 10 editions of this race, and he's back racing in Class 40. Won before in the IMOCA class, I think, in the past. But the news for Class 40s, which some of you may have seen on the website and the news wires, is that the Class 40s are going to stop into La Coruña because of this big low-pressure system. It's all changed in some respects, Brian, but this is something that we've seen several times before in this race.
Yes, what's happened both times. I've done the race 3 times on the Class 40, and twice we've stopped. Once in Roscoff, so after about 24 hours we're into Roscoff for I think 2 days, and then the last time we stopped in Lorient, which is even further around the coast, and we were there 3 days, and we had 70 knots come through.
So many of the sailors that time going home.
Yes, yes. For me and Alistair, we couldn't go home, but some of them lived about 1.5 miles away.
But how are the conditions looking for this first 24 hours? It's really tough. We've got a big low coming in, and then a high pressure ridge across the Bay of Biscay is an obstacle to get through.
Yes, it's going to be very challenging. First 230 miles to Ushant, or Wesson as they call it here, and that is an entrance to the Bay of Biscay, and everyone's going to go that way because the old teams and the Mockers need to get south to the Doldrums and the Canaries respectively, and the Class 40s have had a gate put in this morning at Ushant, and then they've now, as you said, suddenly have to go to the north of Spain, which is going to really change the race for them, and I'm sure there's a bit of relief that they're not beating through 3 lows getting to the Azores. Because
of course the range of abilities in in Class 40 is significant, isn't it? We've got amateurs, first timers heading out into across the Atlantic for the first time. We've got a Belgian couple who have just finished a round the world passage. They wanted to step up and do their next big challenge for them, so they've never raced across the Atlantic, never raced in Class 40, and all the way through to the past winners, guys like Pablo Santur, the Spanish sailor who sails with Pep Costa, who's raced this race 5 times and always finished on the podium. We're looking at the all teams. We're on board there with SVR Lazartigue, second in the last race, just behind Banque Populaire. So changes on board SVR Lazartigue, this time with Tom Laperche as skipper and Frank Camas coming on board. What does Frank bring to this programme, do you think?
Yeah, well, the last 2 editions, it's been Francois Gabard and Tom Laperche as co-skippers. Now Tom is the skipper, and Francois is off cruising. He was on the docks this morning, but I think in a few days he's crossing the Atlantic for a 2-year cruise
with his family.
With his family on a catamaran, and they have got a very, very good replacement in Frank Camas, who's won the race. Is it 4 times?
4 times. He's bidding for 5.
Yes.
Won it 3 times in the Ormas, I think, and won 2021 with Charles Quadrelli. And a good friend of yours there on board Sadebo Tomakovil.
Yes.
A little bit of an outside chance of winning. A powerful boat, but slightly heavier and not quite having the top speeds of the Banque Populaire Tri or indeed SVR.
Yeah, perhaps not, but it's got. We were both chatting to him yesterday, and he has got new foils and I think new rudders as well. So they've upgraded the boat. On these boats, they are foiling a lot of the time, so then the foils become critical, and they've really Thomas and the team have really developed that boat since it was built in, I think, 2019, and he's probably going to be aptly on the pace on the windy stuff getting to Ushant, and then as they cross the Bay of Biscay down near Finisterre, for them they're going to have increasing light air and a ridge to cross, as you say, with about 6 or 7 knots of wind, and the ridge is getting lighter. So for the boats behind, they will have more problems crossing that ridge.
Looking at Alla Grande Mapai, which is the boat which is being taken over by Ambrogio Beccaria, sailing with Thomas Rion. Thomas and Morgan Le Gravier have won this race twice in consecutive editions in the Amoca class. So Thomas is handing over the boat to Ambrogio. And Ambrogio, of course, Italian, who won the Class 40 on this edition last time. In some respects, a dream team, Brian?
I think so. Definitely a dream team. That boat with Thomas and Morgan won last time.
Last time and the time before.
And the time before was probably the older boat that Sam took on the Vendée. And they've really moded the boat for downwind in the trade winds. Mm-hmm. It's one of the with their sail set up, they can triple head very easily. So, i.e., a Jenica, stroke spinnaker, their main jib, and then the staysail. They can fly all those together. So it's very fast downwind. And Ambrogio and Thomas have been sailing this year in the all the races, Course to Cap, and also the Ocean Race Europe. And
they were getting better all the time, I think we'll say, because obviously the boat had problems off the north-east corner of Scotland in the Course to Cap. They were lying second, and they had a significant technical problem with the mast base area on the hull. Had to stop into Aberdeen, I think, or Fraserburgh. But they're all repaired and back, ready to fight. They obviously did the Ocean Race Europe, had that collision in Kiel, and that put them on the back foot, but they won into Genoa, and I think they're really desperate to prove themselves, and a great partnership. We were talking with Ambrogio. He was saying that they're not complementary, they're very similar sailors, and they're still finding their way of operating as a duo. But we would certainly put them atop in the contenders for a podium place.
Yes, I think once they get in the trade winds, they will be one of the faster boats. So even if they're a little bit behind, they could be catching up. So that's they're definitely a big favourite in this race.
And a quick shot there of the Ultime Banque Populaire, which won the race last edition. It was the same partnership, Armand Leclerc and Sebastian Josse. So they're back for more, looking to defend their title, and they too have an update with new foils, which is certainly made them quicker. They're foiling earlier and faster and a little bit better upwind, but it's still going to be a tactical race in the all teams, isn't it? It's not just a boat speed race.
Yes, especially getting out the channel. I think they will be all looking to get out safely and then really put the metal down when they start reaching across the Bay of Biscay, and they'll be doing 45 knots. They
should be ahead. They tend to get ahead of the worst of the systems, don't they? It's historically, and looking like the same case, they should get through the high pressure ridge in the Bay of Biscay. They should just get through doing 5 or 6 knots, something like that, and then escape down into the trades. Looks like the trades will be best for them, doesn't it?
Yeah, but although they've got a cut-off low, which is off Portugal.
This cut-off low that's coming in off Portugal is very, very difficult to model. So all the navigators and weather consultants have been watching it, trying to monitor over the different weather models, and that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Brian, explain a little bit with this cut-off low. What's it bringing particularly for the all teams?
Yeah, that's it's going to bring headwinds along the Portuguese coast, which will be the traditional way down. So they've got to choose whether to go the long way around the outside of the merry-go-round of the low and pass down the downwind side, the west side, or whether some of the routing would spear into the middle of it, to reach into the middle of it, have light air, and then reach out. They'll all have had a lot of weather routing advice before the start. They'll each have their sort of weather router, but this year, unusually, they're not going to have a weather router on board for the actual race.
No, there's no weather routing from onshore. All the routing, all the navigation is done on board for the first time in the MOCA class, in the all-team class, and indeed the multi-50s, the Ocean 50s. So why is that, Brian? This is principally reducing budgets, or it allows them to lower the budgets, but it's also because there are two on board, and there's the internet speeds are obviously so much quicker now than they were in the last race.
Yeah, well, the last editions, the multi-hulls have always been allowed to use routing, but the monohulls not.
That's right.
And I think it was, partly for safety, because there's had to be someone on the helm the whole time, and then the other one would have to be downloading the weather slowly. So I think the combination of better autopilots now, which they can trust, with many layers to it of speed and heel, and also the faster internet means that they can get off the helm, do some weather routing even while the other one's sleeping, and it just makes it more of a sporting challenge for the skippers.
Indeed.
And I think it was probably encouraged by the skippers.
Yeah, for sure. I think the ones we've spoken to are really, really up for it, because it, as you say, it's a sporting challenge conducted on board the boat. It's not a race between the routers who work 24/7 all the way through the race in these hubs, in these units on land. I think you've done a little bit of that, have you, Brian? Weather routing?
Yeah, a little bit of it, and it is totally
immersive, I think is the word.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yes, and if anyone out there has played the Vendée Globe live, no, Vendée Globe race, the virtual race,
it's a little bit like that.
It's a little bit like that, but times 10.
Indeed. So we've got 27 minutes to the start of the all teams. Now talks about the courses, Brian, because we've got 4 races going on. It's so important for the philosophy, for the ethos of this TRANSAT CAFÉ lore, that there's 4 different races. 4 starts, 4 courses, and 4 finishes, and 4 winners, 4 podiums.
Yeah, it's 4 individual races, Andy. So they're not.
There is no overall winner.
No, they're not trying to beat the class 40s. I'm sure everyone likes to be first into Martinique, but they're all docked in different places in Martinique, so there's room for everyone, and. But they would like everyone to come in, the finishers of the winners of each class, to be about 12 days. So
that's right.
They've altered the course length, so the old teams will go across the doldrums. This year, they're the only class to cross the doldrums, whilst last time the Mockers and the 50s went south of the doldrums.
No, I think last time the Moccas were, because the start was delayed. Remember, the start was delayed a couple of days then, or 3 days in fact. Then the course was much, much shorter.
I think the intention was to go south.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, that's right. But anyway, they go through the doldrums twice, which is a big challenge. They go down to Ascension Island, just south of Ascension Island. So there's a lot of tactical and strategic challenges on that course, isn't there?
Yes. Basically, it's like the start of the Round the World, like the Jules Verne. They'll be going close to Ushant, which is the start of the Jules Verne, and then they'll be going down to the equator. And they can't go too close to the African coast for the doldrums. Also, there's a waypoint there which is called Peter and Paul Rocks, which is right on the equator, just a very small pile of rocks, and then they've got to turn left and beat against the southeast trade winds all the way to Ascension Island, leave that to starboard, and then head back to Martinique, crossing the doldrums yet again, but further west, closer to Brazil, so the doldrums won't be as intense as on their way down. But so the total there is 6,200 miles.
So we're seeing Actual here, which is Anthony Marchand. This boat is the former Gitana 17, and Anthony Marchand is sailing with Julien Villion, who was one of the weather routers and the weather experts with Gitana before. He's only sailed, I think they did the Fastnet on this boat. They've only done, I think, about 20 days sailing. But this is a long-term project for Actual, looking towards a solo race, the Route de Rhum for Anto next year, and then ahead to 2027, which will be the solo round-the-world race, the Arkea Ultim Challenge. And then we're just seeing a little bit of SVR, but it was a close race last time, Brian, between the all teams, and actually SVR were leading for much of the race, and then round about the turn at Ascension, or down in the southern Atlantic, then Bank Popular found a faster mode and escaped, but it was still a close race. So the start line is 0.6 miles long between these. We can see one tug there, and the starts are 20 minutes apart. Obviously, as many of you will know, the Ocean 50s started yesterday afternoon at 4:30. Drama overnight with 3 boats capsizing, Brian, and one boat having significant mainsail damage.
Yeah, that's 40% of the fleet out in the first 14 hours, which is very unfortunate for that class. And there's similar weather to, today. There's going to be 13 knots out there, and the Ocean 50s had up to, say, 30, 35 knots.
I thought, from what the reports we had this morning, the problem with the Ocean 50s in particular, or their situation, was that very, very strong gusts. The mean wind speed was the mean wind speed would be 20, 25, but they were getting big gusts, over 40 or 40 and over. And that was obviously in the night. That's really tough on these boats.
Yeah, they're very, they weigh 3.5 tons. They're very light boats, super fast. They are probably as quick as the Ormers used to be, the 60-foot Ormers used to be in the early 2000s, and very aero, and they were definitely at the top end.
I think we're just going to see the courses, Brian. You're going to talk us around them, hopefully.
Yes. So there's a 3-mile reach to the first mark, about 100 true. Then there's a 5-mile reach to second, and now they're going around the Cherbourg Peninsula to Ushant. But I think most boats will be heading up closer to England.
So there you see that's the Ile de Salle, and then the waypoint for Ascension.
Yes. The 50s have to go around the Cape Verdes, and the 60s, the Ultimes, the Imocas, will be going around the Canaries.
That's right, and remains to be seen what the Class 40s will do. They'll stop into La Coruña, we believe, probably for 2 days was our latest information or suggestion, but obviously they have to come back out. So they're going to restart there, and it will be an aggregate time between, let's not call it the first leg and second leg, but in effect that's what it will be, as we saw last time on when you raced and stopped into Lorient.
Yes, it'll be interesting whether they just restart everyone.
No, that's the plan. I think we've seen it before. I think going into Roscoff, the time they went into Roscoff, they restarted in finishing order with the time deltas.
So like a pursuit race in a way.
like a pursuit race, exactly. And I think that was very complicated. The thing is, it's really to give everybody an equal start, an equal chance coming off the start line for the restart, rather than a leader going off into better conditions than the boats starting after them. So that will be interesting to watch. Another layer of suspense and intrigue in this race. But it's an incredible thing, isn't it? This is a sporting event where the starts end up being changed, and when we're trying to provide public sporting events or get a public audience, it's complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be Francis Le Goff in his race director chair, coordinating all of this. And also there's the classes that
That's
push
right.
back and say, oh, we don't like this weather.
That's
can
right.
Can we go early or delay?
Well, that was really what happened with the Ocean 50s yesterday. They came as a group and said, or the previous day on Friday, they came as a group and said, right, this is what we want to do. And so the race direction agreed to give them a start, but it was really with minimal coverage. Obviously the budgets for live coverage are not only significant, but they're also pre-allocated, and there's no possibility to then run a live start for one class. There was, I'm not giving away any secrets, there was discussions about class 40 starting later or delaying their start, but then it just becomes a lottery in terms of trying to provide live TV.
Yeah, this year's edition, I think, has worked out better than the last one.
No, exactly, because the Amoca class started on the Tuesday, I think it was, after the start. But a few words about SVR Lazartigue. We're watching them just now. It's the most aero of the all teams, the most recent build, and they've won the only 2 races that have been sailed for the all team class this year. How do you see the balance between them and Armel and
I think they're
Seb Joss?
Those 2 boats you've just mentioned are the favourites for this race. If it was Gitana with Charles Caudrelier, that would be the third. But it's very new for the Actuel team.
That's right.
They're getting their head around it. But this SVR had a great year. On the other hand, Banque Populaire have just got new foils and a new central daggerboard, manta ray as they call it, which is the foil at the bottom of the daggerboard, and VPLP, who actually designed both boats, are saying that the new foils are quite a different shape and could give Banque Populaire some advantage. And it's possible that SVR are working on new foils themselves. Now we've got some jumpers. That is 16 minutes to go.
So they're getting off early. They have to get off at 4 minutes, isn't it, before this start, I think. But yeah, these are the technical team. The preparateurs have to be all off the boat once it gets into start mode.
Yeah, and maybe a very very sort of lucky sponsor, or unlucky as you look at it. But it's a good thing the SVR is not doing its normal speed.
Exactly, just thinking that.
Yeah.
That's why they want to get off early and they let the guys get up to speed, sail the boat. But I say it's 0.6 of a mile. It's short, relatively short start line for all the classes. There's Seb Joss, I think it is, inside Banque Populaire.
Getting ready for the exertions ahead. He's a very, very fit guy.
He is, and they're an interesting partnership. I know them both quite well, and Seb is super strong technically, and he's obviously, for those of you who follow the history of the all-team class, Seb had a few years as a skipper on the Gitana and then was replaced by Charles Caudrelier, and so he really does, it really has the experience in the class. We're having a quick look at the replay for the Ocean 50s, which started yesterday, I was saying. But they're a great combination, Seb and Armel. Seb a little bit more of a sense of humour, I think, and keeps the mood lighter during the intense moments or tense times on this race. Just looking at the start yesterday for the Ocean 50s there, the new Eden Red for Basil Bourgnon. Who of course his father won this race twice, once with his brother Ivan and previously with Cam Lewis. I think
perhaps the only American winner.
Yeah,
we've
indeed.
had. Yeah. And yeah, Basil Bourgnon is like a spitting image of his
He's looked
father.
just like his dad, but they were going well. I haven't looked at the tracking recently to see how they're going now.
They're second now.
They're second behind Pierre Quiroga, I think, wasn't it? And Gaston Morvan. I think they were leading. I haven't looked recently, but
yeah, they're leading by a little
it's
bit.
certainly the younger duos who are up front there. You see the images of Tanguy Le Turki's boat, which capsized. It was first to capsize yesterday. They're all safe on Lazare, but a really tough time for them. Tanguy does not have a lot of luck on this race, does he? He stopped in the last race, if you remember, on his Zamoka with technical damage. Spent, I think, 3-4 days with his team repairing it, and then only just made the time limit into Martinique to restart the race back, which was the solo qualifying race for the Vendée Globe. Anyway, there we see Actual once again.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a good chance, you know. They don't have the experience on the boat, but the boat's certainly a good all-rounder, isn't it?
No, absolutely. Very, very powerful. Probably the most writing moment of any boat. And you can see there the foils, the port foils down for the start, ready for the reach.
And this is a Verdier design, isn't it? The others are VPLP.
Yes. And there's a new development of this coming out, which is going to be Gitana 18.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
It was supposed to do the race, but I think they were just behind schedule, and rather than push too hard and put a boat out onto the ocean which was not tested enough, they decided to hold off. And I think they plan to launch in December. There's Fortinet Best Western, which is Roman Atanasio and Maxime Sorel.
Yeah. And then looking at Bank Pop there, it was clear who was going to do the driving and who was going to do the grinding.
Go on.
Armel had his goggles on and his foul weather gear. So
I think that's their partnership. That's the general combination. Is Armel does the strategy and does the weather, and Seb sails the boat fast.
Yeah.
And we spoke with them the other day, and they're on good form.
Now from this we can't see how far from the line they are, but I would imagine Sodero's on their final approach now, because they've got the let's call it the J2 jib up, the permanent forestay jib up, and it's like one reef in the main. These boats generally just have 2 reefs, unlike the other boats in the race, which another 4 gone. They've got to miss the foil on the that rudder,
don't they?
Do a real big jump, because that foil is probably nearly 2 meters across. Yeah, they're being picked up, so a little bit closer than Bank Pop. Oh yeah, I could just see the 2 tugboats, so they're quite a long way from the line. So they'll be doing a long approach from a mile or so away. But these boats can do a mile in just over a minute.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, they'll get their last weather information at 4 minutes, or just before 4 minutes. That's the limit for them.
Yeah.
When they go into race mode, after that, there's no outside weather information provided.
Yeah, and the propeller has to be stopped and locked off. So it's all up to them from then, and they'll be looking to download more weather within on the leg up across the channel, and they'll be downloading weather 4 times a day.
At what times?
10 secondes.
the sort of 6 in the morning, 6, 8 in the morning, and then
3, 2, 1, top. C'était l'avertissement pour la classe ultime.
10-minute warning for the ultime class. Nerves started to build even more on board.
yeah, there's the start line super clearly. Nobody is very close. Because this year, unlike other years where everyone tried to start together on one long line divided between monohulls and multi-hulls, the mockers and the class 40s are staying well away from the line because they've got 20 minutes to go.
20 minutes, the line closes after 10.
Yes.
In effect, so you can't go through the line when another start is going on, and you can't restart.
It'd be like your black flag. You have to go to the back of the.
It's a 4-hour penalty if you're over the start line.
Yeah, there's no going back.
There's no going back.
No.
Trying to thread your way and your all team back into class 40 or anything.
So what's like SVR have got to put a tack in or jibe, probably a jibe, before they go back to the line.
So you were saying, just explaining this. Not prologue course, but there's a short course before they head out, but it's more or less a dog leg, isn't it? I think about 9 miles.
Yes, so they've got about 100-degree true for 3 miles, and then they'll come up to about 80 true, heading in a roughly southerly direction on starboard, and then after that second mark, they're free to head fully upwind, and it will be interesting how long they stay on starboard before they tack on to port and most likely go over towards the Isle of Wight, because initially in the day the winds left, and then later on in the night, say around midnight, it's going to start swinging to the right, and being over to the north side gives them a better angle to cross back across the channel, and it also keeps them away from the Cherbourg Peninsula, which will have bigger waves, especially when the tide is running, very strong tides are running against the wind. So in terms of boat preservation, they're probably pretty happy to get to the flatter water on the English side.
So it's an interesting combination then with Tom Laperche, who's still, I think, only 26, 27, and Frank Camas, who's 52, he says won this race among dozens of other owners. He's won this race 4 times and bidding for 5, and that would be a record, supposing, Brian, that would be a record that would stand, because the only other person who's won it 4 times is Jean-Pierre Dick, who's pretty much retired from ocean racing. But Frank won in 2021 with Charles Caudrelier on Gitana 17. He won in 2007 on the Orma Groupama 2. He won in 2003 with Groupama with Frank Profit, and won in 2001 with Steve Ravison, also on Groupama. Of course, won the ocean race in Groupama as well. He's done everything. Won the C-Class Worlds.
C-Class Worlds. In fact, there's a lot of synergy between the two, because they both were boy wonders who have won the Figaro when they're 24 and 25 respectively, and Frank's had, as you say, this absolutely amazing career in every kind of boat. He is the master of developing a boat and getting the absolute best out of it. He's and I think Tom is going to have a very long career. It's pretty incredible at his age to be skippering an old team. So here they come in. SVR look like they're the closest to the line.
So how do they set up? Do they do time on distance, or what's your plan?
They will be using Adrena software probably for their starting approach. They may have pinged the 2 ends of the line, but nobody's going to be wanting to cross the line America's Cup style 1 second after the gun, because as you say, 4-hour penalty is huge.
Yeah.
They don't need to be the first to the.
But there's always the bragging rights with the media who will say, "Bang Populaire, we're first across the line."
Yes, and Armel's won Figaro twice, I think.
That's right.
Tom's won it once.
Once, yeah.
And Frank's won it once. I mean, there's a lot of...
Yeah, no, and Anthony Marshall cut his teeth in the Figaro, won many legs, I think. He never won the race, was on the podium from memory, but never actually won the race overall. But that's where he came to prominence.
They'll be thinking big picture here. So, can't quite see where Banque Populaire is relative to those three. It will be incredible once they put their bow up. They will be off. There's Frank Camas and there's Starship Enterprise.
Isn't it? It's like driving a spaceship.
Yeah. So he's on his right hand. He's got the mouse, which I think he'll be looking at Adrena and the time to go.
To the line.
Yes.
10 secondes.
So 10 seconds to 4 minutes. That's the
5,
prep
4,
signal.
3, 2, 1, stop. C'était l'envoi du signal préparatoire pour la classe ultime Transat Café.
She's starting to go. Everyone seems to have their stasels on. You could call it trunquette is the French way for that, and we probably call it in Anglo-Saxon world a J3. One wreath, it seems the good combination. And wind looks around 20 knots.
Which was as forecast, 20-25 from the northwest. They're amazing machines, aren't they?
They've gone very deep there on Bangkok, slowing down a little bit, so heading way below the line.
Seb Joss doing the grinding.
I mean, it's incredible how far away they are from the line.
Yeah.
That they will cover that ground super fast. 20 knots of wind, they could be doing 40. I think this first leg is going to be absolutely spectacular.
They'll maintain this sail combination.
I think for the
foreseeable future.
Yeah. I think the wind is, as we talked about, it's going to pick up towards sunset.
Yeah.
And overnight, and there's a small front going to pass over them.
But I mean, Armel won when he won the 2023 edition. That was his first win in the multi-hull. He had many problems, and over the years, even when he was younger in multi-hulls, capsizing. He capsized in the Route de Rome when his boat was brand new. Lost the whole ultime in that case, in that situation.
Yes, I think that was.
And lost his confidence. Yeah, lost his confidence completely, and
that's very true. Yes, yeah, they really had to just in the end build a new boat.
That's right. But
so he's got Soderbo's got the bigger jib on the Solent, as they call it, or J2. So that could give them an advantage on the reach, but then that is going to be perhaps too big a sail for the upwind leg.
Hope he's not listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's an incredible character, isn't he, Thomas Caville? He's I think been round Cape Horn 8 times.
Yes, he absolutely.
You've sailed with him quite a lot.
Sailing. Yes, I've sailed around the world with him on a 62-day race non-stop, and he just lives to sail long distance.
And the other thing which
foiling now on Bangkok. 1 minute.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop.
SVR have remained closest to the line.
Moins d'1 minute avant le départ des ultimes.
They're still killing time, even they're that far away. On a normal boat, you'd be about 8 minutes from the line. The Soderbo's coming in from on high, going low to kill speed. They still feel like they're early.
I think actual look most early, don't they?
Yeah, but I think they'll be alright.
Yeah. 30 secondes du départ.
30 seconds to the start. This will be the all-team start, of course. The Ocean 50 started yesterday, but this is
I think even they can't do that in 20 seconds.
No.
Yeah.
So they're staying a little bit conservative, as you might imagine, but they're winding up their speed now. 10 seconds to go. It's going to be maybe Sodebo to be first or actual. But 6,200 miles to race. The start gun has gone for the all-team class in the Transat Café door. A safe start, I think we can say, Brian.
I think they probably said, let's be 15 seconds late, and that's exactly what they've done.
That's the gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
Anyway, Actual going off nicely just to windward.
I think SVR and Bank Pop is probably a bit of a lull in the wind, and they're not actually fully powered up.
But completely then into race mode. Our four all teams Actual flying very nicely. Anthony Marchand and Julien Villion leading the all teams away from Le Havre.
They look like they're going very well. That is definitely in the 30s.
Yeah.
You can see there the foil working, self-leveling. Could be Sodebo's
conditions
blocking the wind a little bit on SVR.
Oh, yeah. Well, what are they feeling just now then with this long course in front of them?
Well, I think they'll be relieved they're finally out there.
Yeah.
And everyone's got away cleanly. You know, no collisions, which has happened in other races.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very successful start for the fleet, and the race begins. Now they've got 5 horizontal foils in the water there at the moment.
Wow.
They've got the central rudder.
That's a lot of lift.
Yeah. The 2 float rudders. The main daggerboard in the middle of the main hull has a big foil as well, and the obviously the big curved foil that you can see on the outer hulls on the leeward side is in. So that's a lot of surface area lifting the boat. And I was talking with the VPLP guys, and aero drag is
a big thing, isn't it?
Critical, and 30% of the global drag of the boat is the hull.
And you can see that on the aft beams there.
The fairing, yes.
The fairings are textile, aren't they?
Yes, and that's just free speed. The smoother you can make the airflow over the platform, there's no loss because it's very, very light, as you say, because it's textile and maybe some carbon stringers like a little model plane. So they're on this little dogleg section before they head out. Yeah, so I think in the lighter stuff, Sodebo's going to do better with the bigger jib. And SVR perhaps struggling a little bit to be fully flying. Perhaps a little bit in the bad air of Sodebo there. They'll be wanting another 3-4 knots more wind. They'll get it soon enough, I'm quite sure. But so that means we have about 17 minutes, something like that, 16 and a half minutes to the Mocha start. Yeah, they'll be starting to throw people off the boat now, and they'll probably do a similar sort of start setup as these old teams. So they're really starting to move now, aren't they? They're getting into the first big squalls coming in. They should be past the first mark now, which is 3 miles away. Ooh. Getting to it, and then there's Thomas driving with a wheel, and that will be a lot of control of the main daggerboard foil going on to alter the ride height, because the outer float is self-leveling, as I said, because of its sort of V shape. Yeah. But you can alter the ride height of the boat by altering the foil angle on the main foil. So perhaps Thomas or perhaps the co-skipper will be playing with that.
It's like,
yeah,
coming down off the foils momentarily.
You could just briefly see the red buoy ahead. So that's
that's
buoy 1. Yeah.
Oh, there we go, just coming to it. So
yeah.
will be actual Anthony Marchand on his second Transat Café d'Or, newcomer to the all team in the last race. He did pretty good, from memory, pretty good fastnet race. But it was SVR Lazartigue which won the fastnet for the all teams.
Yeah, a very close race. Yeah. So they've done the 3.5 miles in 5 minutes. And then they're going to be coming up about 20 degrees here for the next leg, which is about 5 miles.
It's great, they're both in pairs, almost a little match race, but they'll respect each other's courses, won't they?
Yeah. It's interesting, the boats that we've been calling the favourites are at the back of the little race within the race, but they're not going to be too worried by this. It's a long way to go.
Well, what are the dangers for them in this first night? They're not the same power to weight ratios and so on as the Ocean 50s.
Yes, with their foils, they're
quite stable.
They're more stable. Relatively, they're more heavy and probably relatively a shorter mast. And the foil keeps the boat planted, keeps it from flying up too high. But it's still dangerous for the structure, especially if they'll have the tide with them past Cherbourg, and that's going to cause some very rough seas there.
Yeah.
So they'll have a decision to make about how hard to push in the rough seas ahead. So the tide, it's high tide now, and it's starting to go out down the channel from Dover towards the West Country. If you're England based, or Boulogne to Brest
for our
French based.
For our French listener.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they're all set up for a little more wind than they've got now, but that wind will arrive.
It'll be great images, lacking a little bit in sunshine, but it was great. I mean, for you, I guess, being on the other side of the dock, as it were, this morning, great atmosphere, wasn't it? So many people out sending off and
it was incredible.
Bidding farewell to their teams in the sunshine. There was absolutely no wind at one point when we first arrived this morning. It was a beautiful Indian summer morning even.
Yes, each Class 40 left in a minute interval, and I was waving goodbye to a few of the boats, and all their supporters were saying goodbye to each boat. There were bagpipes going off for one Brittany boat.
Mm-hmm.
They're as keen on bagpipes as the Scottish.
Not quite.
Like yourself.
Not quite as keen. But there we go, watching Soda Boat.
Oh yeah, fully powered up now.
So he certainly made the right aero combination, right sail combination
for this. Yeah, but they will during the beat have to put up their smaller staysail and then do the change. So they will definitely lose time on that. But Thomas was definitely going for the best start possible, and he knows his boat so well. So it's definitely the right call for him. But
indeed, he needed the first RKL Ultime Challenge, which was won, of course, by Charles Quadrelli, the solo round the world race winter before last. Thomas did it. Thomas and SVR. Tom Laberge did it, but had to stop into Cape Town with technical damage and had to withdraw from the race. But Thomas Coville went on, finished second behind Armel behind, third, behind Armel and Charles Quadrelli.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone in the world who's done more multi-hull offshore miles than Thomas Gaville.
So there we go, coming into the 10 minutes before the start gun for the 18 IMOCAs. 18 IMOCAs, Brian, a good number in a post Vendée Globe year,
yes,
isn't it?
I think it was at 40 last time, but that's
it was on capacity, yeah.
Quite typical. So this is post Vendée, and boats are changing hands, and this one has, was Milizia,
That's
is
right.
now 11th hour racing with Francesca Clapich.
Yeah, this will be her first race as skipper, sailing with Will Harris.
Yeah, Will Harris has always been the co-skipper for Boris, and is going to stay with the Milizia campaign, building a new boat as Francesca, or Frankie as we call her, gets her feet under the desk.
That's right. She, of course, came from the 49er FX class, a world and European champion. She's Italian by birth and holds a US passport as well. And here we're looking at Initiative Kerr, the redoubtable Sam Davis, sailing now with the young star, the up-and-coming star of the last Vendée Globe. And it's a great combination, Brian, isn't it?
Yeah, Violette
and Sam. Again, it's kind of almost in some senses similar to Frank Camas and Tom Leperche. They're almost mirror each other in some respects at the same kind of ages. And the great thing about Violette actually came and saw Sam on the dock and got her T-shirt signed at the age of 7. And here they are sailing together. Violette had a great Vendée Globe, really was the darling of the Vendée Globe, and now they're sailing together.
Yes.
In a great partnership.
Did Violette come from the Mini as well?
I think so.
Figaro?
Well, she certainly did the Figaro, but
yeah.
she
she might have done the Mini as well, which is how Sam got into the solo world after doing a lot of inshore racing, monohull racing. It was good to have the split screen there. Position. So Banque Populaire definitely sort of
winding up now.
The move to leeward of SVR, get some clear air. See, they still heading for that second mark now. Final mark before they head upwind. It's great to see their whole team in full flow,
isn't it? And that is, you can see that Banque Populaire is just moving quicker all the time. Quick overhead shot of the two of the favourites, I would say, in the IMOCA class, Massif there.
Paprec have got a jibe.
And of course Sam Goodchild, having taken over the role of skipper of Massif, sailing with Lois Berahar.
Yeah, they have a similar setup sail-wise to the old teams, don't they? The staysail, one reef, very versatile combination. They're sailing super low, like 160 true, killing time to head up. They've got the port foil out and their starboard foil in. It's incredible how long they are. Very unwieldy on the dock when you've got to try to get onto the boat.
But great to see Sam taking over the skipper's role. Obviously really desperate and unfortunate circumstances for it to happen, but he was saying that he really wanted to do his best as a tribute to Charlie Dallin. Charlie, of course, from Le Havre, and very, very much missed by the Le Havre crowds and everyone. But the Massif project, as we were speaking about during the week, the Massif project's about winning, Brian, isn't it? And Sam was selected with Charlie as part of the selection as a skipper who's shown potential, who's got all the credentials to win the next Vendée Globe.
Yes, in the Figaro he's done extremely well, Sam, and in the last couple of seasons ago here in the Ocean 50 class. He dominated the season, so and then was the Amoca world champion.
That's right.
With the previous pro, and a fantastic Vendée. And Charlie's still going to be involved, just he's
behind the scenes.
Not ready to do the big races. So he's going, as an engineer, he was studying in Southampton.
That's right.
Naval architecture. So he's going to be making sure the new boat that's getting built is absolutely as good as possible. So his mark is, his hand is definitely very much on the team.
Indeed, and it was interesting. I say he grew up in Le Havre. This is a race where he really was inspired him to go and do what he's done and follow his career as a professional sailor. Coming round the Transat Jacques Vabre fleet as a nipper. And as one of the locals was saying, Transat Jacques Vabre or Transat Café without Charlie is like a race without wind. However,
that's a nice saying. You notice here, Archaea are doing the same as Sodebo. They've gone for their big jib.
Bigger jib, yeah.
Their J2, that'll be like 120 square meters instead of 70 approximately. So it's a lot bigger, more powerful sail for that reaching leg.
So again, another couple or another partnership here. This is Johan Richomme and Corentin Aurault.
Yeah. So inside that boat, Archaea.
Johan Richomme has a new boat in build with Paprec only for the next Vendée Globe, and Corentin is taking over the boat which finished second in the Vendée Globe.
I can pretty much confidently predict that Johan is going to have the most aggressive start, because on the Ocean Race Europe I've just done, he was always the most aggressive on the line.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's slightly different odds here, and more at stake. But there's Jeremy sailing now with the Morgan Lagravière. Morgan, the co-skipper to Thomas Rion on the winds, who won the last two editions with Thomas, moving to sail with Jeremy. And people talk about the Morgan effect. He is a remarkable sailor in terms of the intensity he brings. He has a very, very special feel and able to sail very quickly. So it's going to be interesting to see what he brings to the project. Jeremy Bayou has many honours over the years, but never won this race and came close before. I think
he might have 3 Figaro wins.
That's right. No. He's Figaro's. He's one of the skippers who's won 3 Figaro's. Interesting, just as a quick aside, looking like more and more skippers coming back to the Figaro up and coming, or Le Solitaire this next year for various different reasons. Johan Richomme has already committed to that.
You can see there the buoyancy there in the hulls.
Yeah.
The scow bow look that the modern boats have.
But according to many of the sailors who train out of Port La Forêt, Chiral in its conditions is the quickest boat.
That's
Jan Elias.
Kegener,
yeah.
Yeah, with Elodie
Bonafou. That's
steering.
Right.
Jan probably looking at the nav and looking out to leeward and grinding.
Another skipper who's won 3 La Solitaire.
Yeah.
And I think he's won this race 3 times. He's one of the skippers who's won in the Mocha and the Multi 50.
Could be a little bit of a crowd at the committee boat end, committee tug.
Exactly. You have to be careful when you get 2 tugs, but
you don't mess with that committee boat.
50 seconds.
I know there's no inner distance mark in the committee boat, so you can go as close as you like. But it's quite a spread fleet, isn't it? Nobody's pushing the line too hard. And
no, 35. No. Everyone's going to be going for that 15 seconds late.
Louis Burton is the king of the early start, just to the right of picture there with Bourreau Valley.
I think I gave Archaea the kiss of death because I don't see them going.
And then Café Joyeux there, just Here's the
Yeah.
originally launched. It's the fastest of the daggerboard boats.
Was that the winner of the Vendée?
That was
2012?
Massif, yes.
Yes.
Course record with Francois Gabard.
Beautiful Bureau Valet. What a start.
Oh, come on.
He's got the big jib on, J1.
He only knows one speed, does Louis Berton, and he had such a disappointing Vendée.
Oh, fully foiled, that's a beautiful start.
And Will Harris and Francesco Klapczyk did quite a nice start, just a little bit too low.
Mappe absolutely flying too.
But Louis Burton is launched third in the Vendée Globe 2 editions ago.
And if a race committee could design a start, that's what they would pick, isn't it?
No, completely. And Massif, actually, Sam Goodchild and Loris Berard getting away quite nicely, just to weather of a Cheval. Thomas Rion and Ambrogio Beccaria there on Alla Grande Mapai, flying off the line.
Here comes Arkea, just past the lured tug.
Interesting, isn't it? Because they're flying very flat, or they were flying very flat, until we just lost the picture. But Thomas Rion, and there we go, just seeing Roman and Max Sorel.
Just getting their J3 trimmed up. So a clean start for all 18 boats.
That's right, we're just waiting to see what's happening with Roman. He's certainly having problems there with Max. Max, of course, has lost his own programme for the moment. He was the first skipper to pull out of the Vendée Globe with technical problems. A really big mental blow to him. There's Charal there. A little bit quicker just now than Massif, but they're absolutely head to head.
Yeah, they're probably doing
low
low 20s, mid 20s there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot about trying to stabilise the boat. I mean, they're riding a unicycle there because they've got the one foil in the water and they
no
don't
T-foil,
They don't have the T-foils that the old teams have. The keel does help to give the boat lift as well, but they don't have anything at the back of the boat, which is something the class is thinking about years down the line.
I think they've voted on it several times, and it's the big teams with big budgets want to do that. There's Morgan Lagravière on Cheval. Some great rivalries and great friendships across this class.
Yeah, they do a lot of training together as well. They don't just come together for these races.
Look at the Alla Grande. So this is the boat which won the last edition. Great downwind boats are these Koch.
Yeah.
Fino Conch designs, 2 of them here. This one and Johan Richome's Arkea Paprec.
And both of them won the last race. Ambrogio in the class 40.
That's right.
And Thomas Rion in that very boat. So they have a great pedigree. Ambrogio has only one speed as well, and he works very, very hard, having sailed against him.
Oh yeah.
Some issue with Sam's boat. They're going to cross within the 10-minute limit, so that's good. But they must have been having to work on something pre-start. Haven't quite got up foiling yet. But as soon as they're around the back of the committee boat, they'll be off. So a shame for them, but in a long race like this, it won't make any difference at all. But the main thing is they got there within the 10 minutes.
That's right.
So that's trimming up the pilot's steering.
I think they've just been cautious at the moment. They don't seem to have any.
Yeah, they've got the right sails up. There's an example of 2 different headsails set up, rather like the old teams, which kind of result in the same boat speed. It's right on the crossover. But Mapei has actually smaller
head sails. Yeah.
head sails lower down. You'll see it's not all the way to the top of the forestay.
By a factor of about 25%, I think. On
Yes,
some of them.
which gives it an advantage when you're going downwind, because they can use that as a staysail and keep it out. Whilst a sail like Archaea's, which is right to the top, interferes more with the Jenica downwind, so they gain in this stuff but lose downwind.
It's interesting because you can see that with Charal as well, where they have moved to that configuration, I think.
The lower sail. And there you see Sam's got a storm jib tied on top of another sail. On those boats you can really keep the weight very far forward now. So probably everything's stacked forward of the mast because it wants to be close to where the foil is. The foil's lifting the boat.
In terms of their partnership, very much a learning race for Violette d'Orange.
Yes.
You know, this is about learning from Sam.
Yeah. It's unclear what the next stage is for the team.
I think we'll wait and see, but I think Violette's taking the boat. There's certainly no doubt what's happening here. And they're good to see that Maxime Sorel and Roman Athanasiou are getting going. Some big squalls coming in now, Brian, as per forecast.
Yeah.
That's a good 25, 27 knots at least, isn't it?
Absolutely. Lots of different heel angles as the different winds are hitting them. Okay, this must be the first mark. They've done it pretty fast. The old teams were what, 5:30?
Yeah, they're doing it 6.5.
That's But they are doing 25 knots, and the old teams were probably doing 33 on average. Okay, so now there's time. Charal absolutely flying.
I mean, I have to give massive kudos to Bourreau Valley, and they're just such an audacious start, really, and kept the hammer down.
Yeah, they went for the big headsail.
That's it. Louis Burton is losing his sponsorship after so many years with Bourreau Valley, but he's still expecting to be on the start line, or his programme was saying he'll still be on the start line, hopefully for the Route de Rhum, which is a solo race to Guadeloupe next year.
Similar course, but starting from Saint-Malo.
That's right.
The other side of the Cherbourg Peninsula, and without the waypoint around the Canaries, so it's more of an
open
upwind reaching race, and this is going to be more of a downwind race. So massive. Sam and Lewis going a little wide just to get around these two. 11th Hour had a really good leg.
Yeah.
Because they were a little bit slow for a while, but they've definitely kept up. That boat is particularly good downwind in the Southern Ocean.
Yeah.
It's very well set up for that, very bow up.
It's going to be interesting to see what Boris's new boat looks like. Anyway, here's Le Petit Doudou, which is the newest IMOCA in the fleet, which is developed from the boat we just saw, isn't it, Brian?
Yes, it's like 11th Hour ex Malizia. Very interesting boat, done on not a massive budget, and keeping the environment very much in mind. They're using material that's discarded from Airbus.
That's right,
to build for the carbon structure, and it's like 11th Hour, but there's 30 centimeters lower freeboard, so it should be a little bit lighter. So next up is going to be the
Class 40s.
There's pumping the boat like he's sailing a Figaro or a Finn or something. He's definitely fired up, as he should be. He's leading the race.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we've seen it before. He's such a competitive person as Jeremy.
Yes, you don't win 3 Figaros
No,
in a laid-back attitude.
I don't think there's anybody more intense in the fleet, but I think this is going to be interesting to see
Armel, possibly.
possibly. You'd love to have Armel and Jeremy in the same boat in a Figaro, doing a two-handed race. But and Johan Richomme, as we said, sailing with Corentin Oro, another. So of course, Johan second in the Vendée Globe, also a English-trained naval architect.
Yes, I think at the same time
no,
as Charlie.
Same time, but different schools.
Different schools, yeah.
And completely different characters. It's one of one of these relationships where they both identify certain elements of each other's character that they're kind of almost envious of. You know, I think, and they've both evolved. You know, that Charlie's slightly more introverted. Both extremely digital, extremely numeric, and in particular, he's a great technician when it comes to preparing boats.
Yes, Johann's won the Route de Rome twice.
That's right, in class 40s, yeah.
And mainly from developing his own boat, being a
and
fantastic
being late.
sailor.
He's always done a relatively late boat, which he's developed and then sold on for a small profit, I guess.
He's a little like Michel Desdrieux, who we'll see soon, no doubt.
Yeah.
Class 40 is a real innovator. Bureau Valet in second now.
Bureau Valet is one of the Manward designs, isn't it?
Yes, it was an Occitan originally. And again, a very good boat in the Southern Ocean. And obviously...
He didn't get there, unfortunately, on the last Vendée, but he sailed a fantastic previous Vendée. Really inspiring, and it really... I don't think anybody on that race pushed harder for longer.
Than Louis, yeah. There's Massif just getting in its stride with its staysail, keeping up with Mappé with its bigger jib. It'd be nice to be able to see the numbers on board.
It would be great, but
they've definitely come up a little. They're not going quite as fast as before. There's that windward foil retracted.
So Thomas Riong, another sailor who's lost his main sponsor. The sponsor's paying for his new boat, but Thomas on the hunt for the running costs of his project through to the next Vendée. It's obviously the Vendée Globe is the end of the cycle for so many teams, Brian, isn't it? As is usually the case.
Yes, it's a
quadrennial, and
yeah,
they'll do 4 or 6 years.
It's their Super Bowl.
That's right.
Their World Cup, their Olympics. There's Elodie's on the pilot. Do you see the tiller's actually vertical behind Jan Elias?
Yeah.
Very unusual. There's another boat changing hands, as you talked about.
Yeah, yeah.
Justine had an amazing Vendée.
Yeah.
And a fastest woman in the Vendée.
That's right. And
just a great result.
She had a fantastic Transat Jacques Vabre in the last edition. At one point leading, she took that brave route to the north, racing then with Julien Villon, who's of course this time sailing with Anthony Marchand
on the old team. Yeah.
But she's a very, very talented sailor. Works incredibly hard.
Yeah, from Switzerland, and she has a sister.
That's right, Elodie Jane.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the small things we're missing today. Was we would have had the chance to talk about the two sisters starting the race on the same day, but of course Elodie's racing on the upwind by Merconcept, the first female partnership, first female duo racing in the multi-hulls. We saw Elodie yesterday, or day before yesterday, Brian, didn't we? You were just giving a little bit of a...
just yesterday, about that 2 hours before she set off, I think.
You were giving just a little bit of advice in terms of setup to get through the first night, and I think they're certainly still going. Last I looked.
Yes, well, 40% have dropped out, and they were
100 miles behind, but they're it's a long,
they've
long race.
overtaken 4 boats.
Yeah.
And it's a long, long way to go. Another J1, or J2, J3 crossover example there. Both going the same speed.
And of course, Frankie won the ocean race with 11th hour. She's accumulated a lot of IMOCA miles.
Yes, and she did the Volva Ocean race with me on Turn the Tide on Plastic.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
so she did.
Yeah. Fabulous sailor in person. And so it's great to see her get a campaign of her own.
She was really quite cool, calm and collected when I spoke to her on the dock this morning. I think they're a great partnership, her and Will. Very complementary. Will, this is his third TRANSAT CAFÉ law.
Yes, he's a protege of the Artemis Academy.
That's right.
And a very good navigator. He navigated Jolt in the Admiral's Cup.
Admiral's Cup, yeah, for the Monaco team.
The 40-foot Jolt, which is probably perhaps a top 40-footer. So
he's very talented, and when he raced in the La Solitaire in his last year, he just was up with the top sailors. Had some great moves, great races, and then moved into race with Boris in the first Militia. That was their first race together, and then they did the last edition together, finished 7th, I think. There was 3 boats finished across the finish line within 20 minutes. But this race is not over till the finish line, is it, Brian? It's always, if you come in overnight into Martinique, there's lots of calms.
Yes, I think you think of the race as winter North Atlantic, but 75% of it is downwind and trade winds. I mean, from the Canaries, that's the real long leg. VMG downwind all the way to.
So who are our favourites then in this in Class 40 then?
Well, I would say definitely SNSM, which is a new Lombard Lift 2, Lift 3, sorry, and that has been winning everything this year. But only, like all Class 40 races, they're incredibly close. So to have won 3 races is pretty damn impressive. Pardon my English. And that is with Corentin Duguay and Axel Trehan. And Axel's had his own Class 40 for a number of years, Max 40, and done incredibly well. He's big force in Class 40 sailing, and with the 2 of them together, and they've both come from the Mini Transat. Corentin has won the Mini Transat, and Axel, I think, has come 2nd or 3rd in the Mini Transat in the Proto. Axel building his own boat as well, so they're very complementary, and I think they are.
We're getting a nice big wide shot anyway, but I mean, other than them.
Other than them, I'd say
Amaris, which is sorry, that's Amaris is Fabien Delahaye, and just trying to pick out a few boats there.
There's definitely more wind for this start. 1 minute to go.
Sorry, Akil Nebu and Gildas Mahe are on Amaris, and they think.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be over early on this one, but it's going to be a good start.
Fabien Delahaye and Pierre Leboucher on Le Gallet are kind of our 3rd favourites.
Yeah.
Local favourites are very much Sigafrigo Sogastrin, which is a Manor design, which is sailed by Guillaume Peruel and Cedric Chateau, local heroes from Le Havre.
Yeah, and I think a team will do very well is Pep Costa and Pablo
Santurd.
who are on the boat that won last time, which is Ambrosio.
Alla
Now on
Grande.
Mappe. Yes, Ambrosio's boat from last year. Sea Frigo looks like nearest the committee boat. I think that's Sea Frigo. Great. Well, as normal, yeah. So Sea Frigo up, and then Solano is the latest boat in the whole fleet, which is a Musa 40 Italian boat, say like Ambrosio's boat, like VSR's board. So I think that could be a
Musa
fast.
40. Yeah. But that's great to see Cedric Chateau and Guillaume Peruel spearing off the line.
They're
Amaryllis just
Normandy group.
Yeah.
Looks like Amaris way to leeward.
And SNSM as well, I think.
Legolas right between the sails of Sodustran, just behind the main there. So our favourite's doing quite well at the moment. and the most competitive start of all.
Indeed.
The boats are much easier to handle with just two people.
Not seen VSF yet, Pablo and Pep.
Not yet. Again, a split between the big jibs and the small jibs.
Mm-hmm.
Most people on the big J1, as they call them, on these boats. Some of which are furl, and some are Hancon. And the Hancon jib is a beast to pull down, but a slight performance advantage. There you see two examples. Yeah. Oh, there's VSF Sport with the green
stripe. Yeah, that's right.
So they've gone for the small jib. Amaris there with also a small jib, but that one tacks very far forward. They are limited in area. I think they've got to be 28 square meters for that heavy weather staysail, but you can move the tack.
The other local favourites are Zeiss there, which is also part of the Normandy group, which is Timothée Paulet and Pierre Latouré. Timothée is only
is that a Mac
25. Only
Mac
25,
well.
And he started or he was on the
that's a
single-handed transatlantic race a couple of years ago, or last year, wasn't it? And was dismasted near the finish. Still a student. Anyway, there's Amaris.
Yeah, that's one of the Lombard Lift twos. Very successful boat.
So what's the relative strengths and weaknesses of the top boats of these designs?
I guess there's two main things. There's the bow shape, how powerful the bow is. Generally the lift has the most powerful bow, and the other thing is the rocker in the hull. So the more rocker you have, the more bow up the boat will be downwind in strong breeze. But the slightly slower it will be to get up on the plane. And if you've got a flatter rocker between the bow and the stern, so quite a straight line, the boat will get up on the plane very easily, but it will be hard to keep the bow up, and so it will tend to nosedive more into waves. So the Sodustran is a Mach 40.5, and that has quite a lot of rocker, whilst the previous Manoir Mach 40.4 that I sailed last time has very, very little rocker, very flat rocker, so good for moderate air downwind.
So SNSM is a new boat as well, isn't it? Relatively new.
Yeah, number 209. Yeah. That is a Pogo 40. So Pogo is a
S4.
Yeah, they build a lot of the mini Transat boats, and also some cruising boats as well, some fast cruisers. but they've been very successful with their 40-foot. And then Xavier Macaire sailed one in the last...
that's right, that's the boat that Pam Lee and Jay Thompson are sailing as Empower.
Yeah. Oh, there's the legendary Michel Desbrieux.
So you had a good look at his boat, didn't you?
Yes, I had a look on board. It's got the biggest cockpit. Normally, most cockpits start about where Michel Desbrieux is sitting now, but this one is very big with a demountable roof. So it's very deep, very safe cockpit, and a big coach roof at the front. Kind of unusual to the other boats, but that should add stiffness to the hull, because these boats aren't made of carbon fibre like every other boat we've seen. This is very thin fiberglass. So we had that gust at the beginning, and now it looks a little bit lighter.
Indeed.
So it's a bit underpowered there with 2 reefs.
So Misha's back racing at 60, loving it as much as ever.
Yes. Yes, he was eager to get going. He wasn't best pleased with the idea of delaying for a day.
I'm not sure whether he'd be that best pleased about stopping it into La Coruña.
No, he no. I saw him just as he was leaving, and he's looking excited as ever. And these Class 40 boats are such a pleasure to race, because it's competitive, without it being a huge project with 30 shore team like you'd have on an old team. You really can put the sails in the back of your estate car and go to the sail off.
Indeed. So what's their weather outlook to get to La Coruña as it happens? They're a little bit slower, obviously, than the Mocas.
Yeah, they're probably doing. I mean, they're still doing 10 knots there, and they will pick up when that next squall comes through. They're looking at going around this second mark, and then it'll be upwind, and I think they're going to be tacking onto port fairly soon and heading up to the Isle of Wight. So they'll have the tide with them and increasing wind as they get to about mid-channel. Then the mid-channel, the tide's going to start turning against them. The wind will be up into the 30, 35 knots, really a bit like the multi-50s had yesterday. And they'll be getting over to the Isle of Wight with the tide against, and they'll probably have to tack up the west side of the Isle of Wight. I doubt anyone's going to go through the Solar, but they did talk about it.
Did they?
Yeah.
But I mean,
there is that race, the Normandy Channel race, where they actually have to go through the Solar, so it won't be an odd thing for them to do. But
in terms of the strong wind, 30-35 knots is coming in, the English coast is favourite for a lot of the teams, I think, getting flatter water, more sheltered.
Yes, flatter water, and the wind's going to be shifting right. Yeah. So getting up onto the English shore will put them in the best position for that.
Get the shift first. Certainly, that's what Frankie was saying. Francesca Klapczyk was saying for their plan was on the 11th hour. What a great sight! I mean, 42 boats spread across the ocean.
That looks like Sogestran in the lead, Legolas in yellow, just to the right of the blue one. Oh, that's the Cap NG female duo.
Yeah. So I think there's Cap Purels.
So
that's
all
right.
Female teams in Class 40s.
Yeah, 2 all-female teams, and this is one of the Cap Purel, which is this initiative to get more and more women into ocean racing. It's an initiative by the race, supported by Onshi, which is the program that Pam Lee from Ireland was on last year. Of course, she's got her own program this time with Empower, sailing with Jay Thompson. And this time we've got Anya Bowser-Roig from Mallorca, an ex-mini sailor, I think. And she is sailing with a young French girl, Axel Pelin.
It's great to see all the new blood in this class.
Absolutely.
These will be big names in the. Some of them will be big names in the future. But this is where you can really start off your career as a co-skipper.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes for a more experienced skipper, or as this is too.
That's always been one of the values of this race, isn't it? To bring on the newcomers, as it were, the sailors who are coming on in their talent. So this is the new Musa 40 for one of the 8 Italians in this race.
Yeah, 212, very, very new boat.
Yeah. So they won the first leg of Les Sables Horta, and they have every chance, I think, in this race. Brand new boat, both ex-Italian Olympic classes sailors.
Yeah, they're going to be pushing hard. As you can see there, Hank on jib.
Luca Rossetti is the co-skipper who won the Mini Transat the year after Ambrogio, so following in the wake of Ambrogio with the same boat. And Matteo Serracano is co-skipper.
Yeah, the Italians are coming.
They are indeed. I mean, if you look at the number of Italians who do well in the Mini now, they will graduate through into class 40s, and as we say, Ambrogio now up into the Amocas, and certainly. But this is a great showing from the local team. Guillaume Pirouel, ex-470 sailor, and Cedric Chateau from Le Havre, part of the Normandy training group, leading lights for that group indeed. Passing the first mark.
Yeah, 12 minutes, not quite as fast as the Imocas, but I think they had a light patch there in the middle.
Yeah. Cedric actually is helmsman on board the TP52 Paprec, second in the world.
Yes, with Loïc Perron as tactician.
Loïc as tactician.
Yes, Legolas in second. They're going to be strong. Another lift, Lombard lift, and then Zeiss back 40.6, I think.
But again, I mean, that's it. The Normandy boats in 1 and 3 round the first mark. That's a big boost for the local hopes, for the local race fans.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the pointy boats, or sharp boats as they call them, which is one of the slightly older class 40s. After about number 154, the boats are all scow bows. So a real big change in the design. So there's almost a race within a race for those pointy boats, which this would not be their leg of choice for reaching length. Those scow bows will have probably a 2 to 3 knot advantage in this kind of conditions. There's a lot more stability.
Not quite as spectacular as the last edition, but nonetheless, all these boats converging on the same mark. There was collisions 2 years ago, wasn't it, Brian, at this first mark? But the angle is not quite as acute.
No, they didn't have to tack. Last time, I think we were in about 10th coming around here, and we were just having to avoid boats that were tacking onto port in front of us.
So Michel Deja up there, isn't he?
Yes, he's probably about 8th.
Yeah, and this is his Agité 40.
Yeah, in-house, full
in-house
full
design,
main, full jib.
In-house design and build program. Mer Agité and Mer Forte.
He hasn't lost any of his hunger in 60, has he?
I think he's getting his hunger back.
Yeah, he spent too long in the design office. It's great to see him out racing again. I mean,
with he had his young son with him here all week.
Yes, yes.
Who
was just going on every boat.
was he?
Yes, yes.
He's
So inquisitive.
He's funny, isn't he? Because he's like a young Oasis fan. He's running about with his Oasis T-shirt on and his bucket hat. I think Mish indulges him as well you might, but fantastic to see. And we're not picked up Vincent Rio as yet. But a few words about Empower, Pam Lee and Jay Thompson. You're the godfather of their program, aren't you?
Gerard. Yes. Myself and Karine Fauconnier, the godparents to the launching of the boat, which we did last Monday. I've never been a godfather before.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different on board a Class 40, a little bit wetter, and when you consider they've got 3,000 miles to go.
I think that's the second place boat there.
Yeah.
That's Legolas, I think. Oh, there's Pep and Pablo, the Spanish matadors.
The matadors. They're such lovely guys as well, aren't they? I mean, Pep.
They really are.
Pep's done a few transatlantics already. He's only 24, 25 as well.
Yes. He's very technical as well. And, I think he might have done naval architecture as well.
No. He was at college in America actually. I think he did either physics or maths. I can't remember. But he did his first transatlantic with Will Harris in the two-handed AG2R or whatever the
yes, the Figaro.
Yeah, the double-handed Figaro race.
Yeah. There's full send by the leader there.
Yeah.
Full sail.
That's cross call, which is
yes, lift 2 with
Aurélien Ducrot, who was free ski
he's
world champion.
very good skier. So I wonder if they're going to change the smaller jib. It's a big barroway. Of course, these boats don't have the foils that the other boats have. Yeah, there goes the J2. You can see him there bearing away. He's going to change to a smaller jib.
Very foreboding sky there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes,
it's so typical of what we see in the Transat Café L'Or here in Le Havre every year.
Here's another boat bearing away to foil the J2. Okay. J3 is out, of course. So that's you gain on that reach.
Yeah.
That you're going to lose on this.
By having to make the change.
Yeah, by having to bear away. I mean, they have to preserve the sails for the whole race, so you wouldn't want to do it upwind. Well, Sogistran staying on full sail, as is Legolas behind them. But at some point they're going to have to change to a smaller jib. And certainly Legolas is a Hank-on jib, so one or both of them are going to be on the bow, having to take that sail down, put sail ties around it, possibly a sail bag. That will be a very wet job in an hour or two. So now they're on the next leg to the second mark.
So they're actually the European trophy winners over the European season.
Yes, Sogistran.
Sogistran.
Yes. Yeah, you can see. Okay.
Look, we're live on board Sodebo, the full team of Thomas Croville.
So they have tacked. So they're now on port, heading towards England. Someone's ahead of them. They're very, I think two ahead. That's a lot of wraps on the winch.
And back on board Chiral then with Jerem and Morgan.
Both with a military haircut for this race. Aero is very important.
Is that what we call it? Sharing the same haircut as Corentin Oro. very common. And
Will Harris.
no, Will Harris is. We're laughing because Will's the haircut coming onto the dock is important, and Will has clearly had his aero appendages improved for the race.
Yes.
Who's this we're seeing? Is
probably greasing there.
yeah. Nico Lundman's another one.
Yes. Not in this race.
Not in this race, no. I mean, there's only 2 boats who did the Ocean Race Europe who came here, and the
Arkea and Mappe.
Arkea and Mappa.
Or
yeah.
Malaysia.
Oh, sorry, Malaysia as
new
well.
name.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
indeed. So 3, but I mean, that's quite a tight schedule in terms of prepping for this race.
Or
so
to come all the way from Montenegro.
yeah,
Yeah.
come here. I think they only had a couple of weeks to prepare and be here. So
It's a commitment. Yeah.
but big kudos to technical respective technical teams. But what's it like at this point then, going into your first night, as the dusk starts to fall?
I know the
earlier dusk.
time change.
Exactly, that's the thing. We had
Yeah.
an hour change. It was great this morning. We got an extra hour in our beds, but the thing is, it makes the nights longer, or certainly the first
Or
night
earlier.
is longer.
Yes.
Because your nightfall comes an hour earlier, and suddenly, what will it be, 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's getting dark, or it'll be getting dark.
And very little moon. Then there's no full moon until 10 days' time.
Oh.
So it's going to be a dark, windy night for sure.
So what? But I mean, how do you prep for that, or you just take it hour by hour? In terms of how you set up, what do you have on board? What do you have to hand?
Well, I mean,
in terms of food and
yeah, you need some good lighting. So you need to have a good trim light, a good head torch for these long nights, and actually, yeah, keep hydrated, keep warm, keep eating as well. And these teams will be having a mixture of freeze-dried food and what they call wet food, which is boil in the bag food, which is getting more popular now. A little heavier, but very tasty. That is going very well indeed. Stan Manuel, the designer, will be very happy to see his design out in front of both fleets, because so Chiral leading the Amoca and Soldier Strand leading the Class 40s. We don't know. We'll have to look on the tracker who's leading the old teams right now.
I'll make that your job.
Okay. You carry on. We are nearly at the end, aren't we?
We are nearly at the end. We've got a couple of minutes of broadcast time left, but come on, Brian, would you rather be here than there, looking at it from the our beautiful, dry, not so warm studio?
Oh, I'd love the racing here, and you just don't want. You have to just ignore the first 30 hours and think about how good it's going to be once you've
That is the one thing, is it gets warmer progressively, and for the old teams it gets warmer faster.
In 24 hours they are going to be off Cap Finisterre. So they're going to be in 20-degree water off Spain. Let's just have a quick look at the tracker. I'm sure everyone's going to be following this. It's really quite a good tracker.
But certainly for the Ocean 50s, it's the young guys, the young guns, which were up the front earlier on when we last looked, before we came on live. Pierre Quiroga, the 2021 winner of La Solitaire from Hyères in the south of France, along with Gaston Morvan, who did this race last edition with Giancarlo Padotti. I think Gaston has got his own IMOCA program, as far as I remember, for the Vendée, up and coming.
That's a Pogo. And so in the old teams, they are going upwind at between 30 and 34 knots.
It's not too bad at all, is it?
And they've all tacked over, and Bangkok just in the lead, and actual SVR.
Anyway, that's all we have for you. Do keep following the race on the website, on our social medias. Thank you for joining us.